Are you ready, YouTube? Because today we're taking a look at a really cool figure, and that's the Ringside Collectibles exclusive from the old In Your House D-Generation X pay-per-view. Probably my favourite Shawn Michaels attire of all time. We've got the Ringside Collectibles exclusive HBK. A cool looking figure, but I do have some issues with it, and I will get into those once I get him opened up and out of packaging. One thing I will say, the Ringside Collectibles exclusives, they always do a great job, especially with the packaging. He's got the new sleek style 2018 Elite Collection packaging, which looks really good. He's got the DX, I don't know what you would call them, but like the Titantron screen at the back, which looks really nice as well. It matches the figure nicely. Cool attire. Cool box design. Let's get this guy opened up. A quick look at the back of the packaging there. I like the way they've got the bio on the back and then the stats on the side. Nice shot of HBK there. For some reason, I absolutely love that attire. On the back, it basically just talks about the forming of DX. It doesn't really talk about his feud with Ken Shamrock at the actual event where he wore this, but we'll get into that once we get him opened up. And here we've got HBK opened up and out of packaging. And for the most part, he is a really cool figure. So first things first, and I will compare him to the Jakks exclusive Ringside Collectibles Shawn Michaels that had the exact same attire as well. I still think that is a better figure, and I'll get into why shortly. But they've reused from the WrestleMania 14 exclusive HBK, the chaps, I guess they're called. And they've just repainted them black and put the green X's on them, which I'm really not a big fan of, especially when I compare it to the soft cloth Jakks figure in a moment. So that's the first thing that kind of bugs me. One thing, I love the detailing on the chest piece. I think they nailed that. That looks fantastic. I like that they gave us accurate chest hair on the figure as well. Big fan of that. But the face sculpt, there's something about the face sculpt I really don't like. I don't think it matches this era of Shawn Michaels. To me, it looks like an earlier HBK, and not really as accurate to the one that wore this attire. And the WrestleMania 14 HBK for me is still the best Mattel figure that they've given us. Detailing-wise, though, it is really nice. I can't fault Mattel for that. The articulation, obviously, is the standard Elite articulation. So you've got a ball-jointed head, ab crunch, swivel in the waist, ball-jointed arms, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel in the wrist, waist, ball-jointed legs, swivel in the upper thigh, double bend at the knee, swivel in the boot, and swivel in the ankle. So awesome articulation out of this guy. Now, to take the gear off is reasonably easy. Putting it back on is the tricky bit, to be honest with you. So there you have HBK. I'll bring it forward so you guys can see really great detailing on the tights and on the exit. It's such a cool color scheme. HBK on the back with the X. I mean, visually, it does look really nice. The color application and the paint apps on this guy, I think, are my favorite. Alright, so just to compare, obviously the Jakks Shawn Michaels looks a lot fatter than the Mattel. The Mattel scaling, I think, is a lot more accurate. Surprisingly, they are the same height. I think the face sculpt on the Jakks is a lot nicer. The Jakks one looks more like the beat-up, worn-out, evil Shawn Michaels that he was at this point, or heel Shawn Michaels, I should say. I also really love the soft cloth material. It adds to the quality. I think the upper vest is nicer on the Mattel and more accurate, but the chaps on the Jakks are a lot nicer than what they've given us here. But again, that's just my personal preference. Otherwise, the figures are both pretty good. You'd have to take the Mattel for detailing. It's just the head sculpt that bothers me a little bit, and the tights. But otherwise, well worth picking up. I'll bring in some of the other DX Shawn Michaels figures as well, just for a comparison. And here we've got a collection of Mattel Elite DX Shawn Michaels. You can see, I think this one is, I think, my second favorite. You'd still have to go the WrestleMania 14 Shawn Michaels. Really cool attire as well. Even though it doesn't have the full chest hair, they did release it with the full chest hair, and that's definitely the one to get. But the face sculpt on this HBK is so much more accurate where he's got the hair braided at the back. And I think it's the face sculpt on this one that is the best out of all of the Mattel Shawn Michaels figures that they've given us. The Walmart exclusive is not a bad figure as well. And then you've got an older HBK in DX attire as well. But definitely a solid addition. If you're a Shawn Michaels fan, then obviously this is a must-have.